I think A Tale of a Time is any piece of work that tackles the human condition, whether it's grief or pain or moments of triumphs or moments of weakness, anything that shows how we navigate society and our culture.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Our Times. This is a show where we discuss the stories that move us, what makes them so meaningful, and why others could or should find meaning in them as well. This is not a spoiler-free show, so bear that in mind as you continue to listen. We tackle books, movies, comics, and more. Where there's a story, there's a reason to read. I'm your host, Amanda Stevens, and joining me today is a very special guest, Etosha Taylor. Welcome, Etosha.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for coming on my show. I'm really excited
welcome.
to get into this. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Etosha, and I'm originally from the Caribbean, actually. And I've been in Taiwan now for just moved back to Taiwan after being gone for 5 years. And prior to that, I was here 7 years.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
Nice. Congratulations.
I love Taiwan a lot.
Yeah. Welcome back. So you actually also, though, do a podcast, right?
Yes. Yaoi Fangirls versus the World.
Do you want to introduce it a little bit?
I'm sure. Yaoi Fangirls versus the World is an LGBTQIA podcast, and we talk about yaoi or boys love. And sometimes we do a sprinkling of girls love in there too.
Yeah.
But the focus of it is talking about boys love in media, talking about it in books, manga, anime, even sometimes just walks of life.
Yeah. Wherever it feels relevant.
Yeah.
So what story have you brought for us today?
The book is What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky by Leslie Nneka Arimah. She's a Nigerian author. And the book is basically a bunch of short stories that tackle things like grief, like love, like womanhood. Just there's so many themes throughout this book that really, really touched me. But I decided to focus on one story. It's called Light.
Okay, wait, I'm actually so excited because when you showed me this book, I looked it up, and Light was the story that kept popping up every time I looked up this book. So
yeah, I was actually surprised. The one that actually resonated with me the most was the titular title, What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky. And Light was my second choice.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
my
but I had
God.
already overanalyzed what it means when a man falls from the sky so much. But I was like, Light have so much subtle messages and subtle themes.
Well, and that's the fun about short story anthologies. You can explore so many different things. But before we get into the summary of Light, which is a short story from What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky, do you think that there's any context that listeners would need, or is it good to just kind of jump in?
We could just jump in.
Okay. So then, Etosha, could you give us a summary of Light?
Sure. So I'm going to quote something from it. This is actually the first small paragraph of this work, and it resonates so much to show a juxtaposition between how it starts and how it ends. She says, when Inebi Okara sent his girl out into the world, he did not know what the world did to daughters. He did not know how quickly it would wick the dew off her, how she would be returned to him hollowed out, relieved of her better parts.
I have chills. Oh, no.
Yeah, and when I read that, I was like, oh my God, that is exactly what we as females go through.
I'm going to say my commentary for the end. I have so much to say already.
So it follows a Nigerian father, as he struggles to raise his teenage daughter while his wife is working in the U.S. And the plan was, the mom will go to the U.S., she would earn money and create opportunities for the family, and then they will all go and meet her there. But what it becomes, it ends up being this separation. The mom's building a life, the dad's building a life, and the dad's raising the daughter. So the mom left when the daughter was 11, and it goes until the daughter is 14. There are a couple of time jumps. And the interesting thing about it is it's all told through the dad's point of view.
Ooh.
So it's how he's dealing with her womanhood,
Yeah.
basically. So as the daughter grows, the father notices her becoming more independent and rebellious, and he worries about the kind of woman she will become. And then he's also worrying about the perspective of society on this daughter he's raising. But you're also having him and his wife going through this, basically a separation of what they wanted their life to be like. And then the daughter and the mom going through a separation of this closeness they once had and their views on the world versus what the mom's going through now. Because remember, she's a Nigerian woman who just moved to the United States. And the reality of what she has to face there in regards to being a Black person in American society, how that is warping her perception of what womanhood is like and how she's trying to over the phone or over her conversations, reel her daughter in to kind of prepare her, and how the dad is basically grieving for this rebellious daughter.
So while the mom is there, she's like calling over the phone and she is trying to prepare her daughter for living in the United States when they move there. And to her credit, like not only is she a Black woman in America, she's a Black immigrant woman in America. And the father who is with her still in Nigeria, I assume. He sees these lessons and he kind of feels like perhaps they're not what he feels is best for his daughter.
Correct.
Where does it go from there?
So because he talks about, because the mom is away, he's kind of filling this maternal role where he has to worry about her being on her period. Like when that starts and then when that happens, how they got through it, how she went from being this person who was outside and kind of tomboyish to being this person who now worries about boys. And then he worries about her rebellious streak. Is it okay for her to have this type of armor for the world to go out there? He's hoping her self-worth would keep what he calls the wolves at bay. And then the mom's calling. And every time the daughter talks about something that's happening in her life, the mom's nitpicking it. And she's nitpicking it. And he sees that erosion, everything the mom is saying, how it's picking away at the daughter's
her like self-worth armor.
And he doesn't know what to do. Yeah. Because he understands what the wife is doing. But he's like, is there any other kinder way, any other way we can raise daughters to have their self-worth and still exist in the world?
What a like hard situation to be living with too. That's like, you love both of these people and like you want your wife to be able to be involved in raising your daughter, but then like the more that they help, like the more you feel like, oh, you're just doing it wrong. Like, I can't stifle this. Like, I think you're doing it wrong. Like,
and he also wonders about his place. Is this his
right?
Is it his place to say, the way that you're guiding her is incorrect? Because that's mom, that's the mother.
This is the gender role thing, right? That it's like, am I allowed to speak in this arena? Like, I don't know. Like, is this the way it should be? So, okay, wait, how does it end?
So it ends with the mom and dad, they don't really get together. It kind of ends up in the air, but they send a daughter to the U.S. to live with the mom. And when it was proposed to send a daughter, because that was the plan all along, to send her. And she had asked before and he shut it down. But the second time it involved the entire village, basically. So it was his father was agreeing with the wife. The daughter needed to go. And the only one that was against sending the daughter, surprisingly, was the wife's sister.
Oh, is she in the village with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was so surprising because when you first get introduced to the wife's sister and he talks about her, he talks about her in opposition to him.
Yeah.
Like everything he does is wrong. And the wife's sister kind of knows the right way. And, and then at the end, she's the one that's disagreeing about sending the daughter away because I guess it's a change in the sister's attitude. You could see from the mom talking over the phone and how her attitude and her perception has changed from being in Western society versus the Nigerian society in regards to her womanhood. So the wife's sister is against sending the daughter, but he sends her.
He does.
Because that's, mother.
That was their plan. And
and that's mother. And the opportunities will be more endless for the daughter there than it would have been at the time in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like, I see from both point of views. I see from the mom's point of view and I see from the dad's point of view. Like with the mom, she's like, well, to be a woman, you need to sacrifice. Yeah. And sometimes that sacrifice is in yourself. It is your independence. It is your free thinking in order to create the life you want in society. Because those aren't values that they value for women. So there's a certain way you have to act. You have to perform in order to get ahead. And so I understand the wife's thinking that she needs to prepare her daughter for all of that.
And better that it comes from her than from somebody she doesn't know or like from a cruel society, right? Like better that you get this from somebody you can trust instead of like, God forbid, your classmates or something else.
Correct. You know? And there's a type of armor that she has to build being a woman of color and being an immigrant in a society that doesn't value that.
I was just going to add that, like, also that then that's not even accounting for like the layers of difficulty that it comes to like immigrating into a society.
So she has to build that armor now, but and then I understand the dad's point of view. Building that armor takes you away from who you are because now you have outside forces and you're not listening to your internal voices about who you are. I said that like 5 times. But
okay, yeah.
But it's really saying,
like,
what it is.
That idea of like whose opinion becomes more important, like your opinion about who you should be or the opinion of others about the way that you should be.
Correct.
Right? It sounds like a very well-written story. The fact that like you can see where every single person is coming from.
Correct.
It like makes it those are my favorite kind of stories. Nobody hears wrong. Nobody hears like the bad guy.
The bad
so to
guy.
Speak. Like,
they're just all care about her and the woman that she's becoming. I have another quote from there if you don't mind. That really like
go
resonated with me. This is so our daughter. She has her first boyfriend ever, and she's passing notes in class.
Huge accomplishment. Congratulations, girl. Love that for
you. And the dad's silly with it because he's like, well, she needs to learn to pass better notes.
This is the rite of passage. No, that's so embarrassing.
But then when she tells the mom about the boyfriend, the mom is like, you can't be that kind of girl. Are you easy? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the dad has this self-reflection, I guess. And he's like, this is the first time the girl becomes aware that the world requires something other than what she is. And I was just like,
oh, it's good.
So good. So good.
Oh, God,
I was like,
it's like a quote machine. Just like post these all over the wall.
I think once I read that, I stopped and I was just like, just to take it in, just to like experience it, like, because it was so well articulated, the two sides of the argument, who she is in reality and who she has to be for society.
Let it wash over me.
Yeah.
Let's just get what made this so meaningful to you. Was it this message?
It was that message, but it was also the fact that I am also a father who was raised by a daughter who was raised by a father. A daughter who was raised by a father. And that resonated with me so much. I'm also an immigrant, even though it's part of the U.S.
Yeah.
It's still a territory, the Virgin Islands. And I'm also still new to American society because where I grew up, the majority of the island
it's not really the same as
Caribbean,
America, right?
Correct.
Like, it's still a part of where it was culturally, regardless of where the map has decided that it belongs to.
Correct.
That doesn't necessarily define the culture that you're a part of.
Correct.
Right?
And the majority of the culture is, as determined in the U.S., Black. I guess
the blanket, not helpful statement.
Correct.
Black,
because there's no.
What does that mean?
There's no room for intersectionality in the United States. But
listen, I would never contradict that. I can only agree.
But yeah, in the U.S., I exist as Black. I don't exist as Caribbean. So all those things resonated with me because it is my experience.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you had the mother. In my case, it would be my stepmother, who was constantly, don't speak patois.
Yeah.
You need to speak in them, articulate your words. Prepare me basically to live in the United States. Not prepare me to live in St. Croix, but for the United States, which was, as I look back on it now and I think about her lessons, and as I was reading this book, I'm like, yeah, she was right. But again, it became that thing. You lost who you were.
Yeah, I've actually heard that, like, I guess I should say, like, luckily not in my own experience, but I have heard that a lot from people who kind of grow up torn between two cultures or like forced from one into the other one, right? Is like sometimes the process of assimilation is like paint thinner to your personality. Like it just strips away like things about you that you like, and even things like hobbies that don't feel like they're appropriate. When did I stop doing that?
When did I stop doing it? Exactly.
Do I still love this? Am I still good at it?
Exactly. And assimilation strips away your culture. Because I can tell you, like, the person I was who was very immersed in being Caribbean and the music and all that stuff is not the person I was today. I am today, actually. So it strips away a lot, especially when you make friends outside of your culture. Like, I don't have any friends who resonate with me being from the Caribbean when it comes to the food, when it comes to the music, because unfortunately, my circle, the people I resonated with, we're all very different, but I don't have my Caribbean friends. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the hard part too, right? Because it's never necessarily criticism of the people you do vibe with.
Correct.
But it's just that I want to express this part of myself. It's such a deep part of who I am. And as much as like we connect on so many other things, this doesn't feel like something I could ever fully share with you. Because even if you get it, you can't just like logic your way into that kind of connection. Like you have to like feel it.
It has to be felt. It has to grow organically. And unfortunately it doesn't. And I value every single person I have in my life. But my sister's the one I connect with when we are in Caribbean mode. When we talk about our culture, she's the one I connect with. And it's not necessarily my friend group. So I resonated with this story so much because of that. So many things that happened to me happened in this story.
So do you think that that's tied to what makes this a tale of our time? Or another way to say that would be like, do you think that that is like meaning other people can find in it the ways in which assimilation changes you fundamentally?
Like womanhood is another, like your perception of yourself, your perception of what womanhood means. And I also think like microaggression. Because if you think about what the mom is doing, it is in a way a microaggression. And you think all the things the mom is saying and all the things that she's putting in her daughter's head, you would expect that from the other gender, from the guys, you know?
You would expect maybe her father to be saying these things.
Correct.
But he's not.
He's not.
Coming from her mom.
It's coming from the mother, the one that she had the closest relationship with. We have an understanding of why she's doing it, but in a lot of ways, this is still a child.
Yeah. Whatever the reasons are, it's still harmful to her, even if it's like, I want you to hear it from me, not from somebody else.
Not from
like
somebody
that
else.
doesn't negate what it is.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's still gonna hurt. It's still
gonna hurt. It lives with you.
Yeah.
Everything your parents say live with you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You have to try to, get over. How do you move forward when you have this little voice in your head, your mom's voice telling you, oh, you're not sitting the correct way. You're not a proper woman. Oh,
you can't be easy.
You can't be easy
with boys.
You can't be. That lives with you throughout your entire adulthood, and that voice is hard to get rid of.
Yeah. For a lot of people, it takes professional help to get rid of that voice. Like you can't do it by yourself.
So much therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I definitely think people can get from that too a lot of themes about microaggression and how do you navigate that?
Honestly, even for people who, if that sounds unfamiliar to you, a good example of what that is. Like if you're fortunate enough to have never experienced microaggressions, this can show you exactly what that looks like from the perspective of someone seeing it.
Of someone
and
seeing
sometimes
it.
like that's really valuable too, is like seeing it and like recognizing it for what it is. Unfortunately though, we are out of time. But before we go, I have one last question for you. And that's if you could give, let's stay with Light because that's a story we've discussed. But if you could give Light a subtitle of your very own, what would that be?
If I can give Light a subtitle of my very own, it would be A Story of Love, Distance, and the Burden of Womanhood.
Oh, I've gotten like chills like 3 times during this conversation. They're all just like really poignant. What a good subtitle.
Yeah, I think that encompasses it.
So thank you, Etosha, for coming on the show. This has been such a good conversation. I have loved it so much.
Thank you for having me.
And for all of you listeners out there, this is from, again, a short story collection. So if this sounds like it's up your alley, go read the rest of them as well. Like this is just one of what the author Leslie Nneka Arimah has created. And that collection, oh God, that collection is What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky. This has been Light. But this has also been Tales of Our Time on Radio Taiwan International. I was your host, Amanda Stevens, joined by today's wonderful guest, Etosha Taylor. And I hope you all enjoyed learning more about Light, a story of love, distance, and the burden of womanhood. A tale of our time. We'll see you next time.